Hello, and thank you for tuning in. You are tuned into Esoteric Guidance, and my name is Naru. I am going to share pure potentiality from DEEPAK Chopra. You spell his name D-E-E-P-A-C, or excuse me, P-A-K-C. H-O-P-R-A. Okay, Deepak Chopra. Okay. He has written a few books on spirituality and awakenings and things of that nature. And this particular little book is called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, a pocketbook guide to fulfilling your dreams. Okay. So I want to read Pure Potentiality, which is chapter 1, the law of pure potentiality. And okay. I hope you gain insight through it, from it, as divine has led me to share it with us at this time. Good morning to you. I am up early. I did not sleep very long. I hope you are doing well wherever you are listening to this. I am in Malaysia, specifically Kuala Lumpur, and so that is the view that you are getting there, is looking out into Kuala Lumpur. So the law of pure potentiality. The first spiritual law of success, the law of pure potentiality, says that our essential state is one of pure potentiality. Pure potentiality is pure consciousness. It is the field of all possibilities and the infinite creativity. Our physical body, the physical universe, everything in the material world comes from the same place, a field of silent, unmoving awareness from which anything is possible. That's how divine created the earth. Okay? From place of silence, but omnipresent, omnipotent. Okay, and again, I don't think Deepak points to anything to any one deity, but awareness from which anything is possible, and that is the God within you. There is no separation between this field of energy and our spiritual essence, our self. This field is our own self, and when we know that our essential nature is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. Knowing who we really are gives us the ability to fulfill any dream we have, because the same field that nature uses to create a forest, a galaxy, or a human body can bring about the fulfillment of our desires. Anything is possible in the field of pure potentiality, because this field is the source of all power, all intelligence, and infinite organizing ability. Therefore, success in life depends on knowing who you are. When our internal reference point is our spirit, that is your highest, purest, truest self, our true self, we experience all the power of our spirit. When our internal reference point is the ego or self-image, we feel cut off from the source. That is us. That is you. That is Avarat, God, Creator, Numa, the air that you breathe, whatever you want to. Or self-image. We feel cut off from the source, and the uncertainty of events creates fear and doubt. The ego is influenced by objects outside itself. Circumstances, people, things, addictions. He doesn't say addictions. It thrives on the approval of others. Okay? So anyone who's functioning in their ego, they are doing that as a show, as a TV show. Okay? It wants to control because it lives in fear. Remember that. The ego lives in fear. When it is untamed, unhealed. Okay? It lives in fear. But the ego is not who we really are. The ego is our social mask. It is the role we are playing. The need for approval, the need to control things, and the need for external power are fear-based. Okay? And again, that's power beyond yourself. Again, I always say the only thing that you can control, the only person that you can control is yourself. Your dogs prove it, your cats prove it, your husband proves it, your wife proves it, your children prove it, your boss proves it, your employees prove it, your employer proves it, or proves it. There is nobody else, no matter what your relationship is with them, you could have birthed them. You have no control over them. That's why when you say, baby, what's wrong with you? They just continue to cry. You have no control over anyone else but self. Okay? This kind of power is not the power of pure potentiality. The power of self or true power. Self-power is true power because it is based on the laws of nature and comes from the knowledge of the self. And I would say wisdom, not knowledge. Okay? Because a lot of what I have learned without any physical degrees from any college, okay, a lot of what I know, my wisdom, is divinely dropped in, okay, through my crown chakra. Okay, I don't know what Deepak Chopra's beliefs are. He may meditate, he may not meditate, I don't know. But yeah, okay, so knowledge is not the same as wisdom. Okay, not wisdom becomes knowledge once it's put in a book, because then it's spread around the world. But first, it is wisdom. Self-power draws things that we want to us. It magnetizes people, situations, and things to support our desires. So, if you want to own a business, but you are an employee, one way that you can do that is, first of all, make sure that your intentions are pure for the reasons of why you want to own the business. Okay? So if you want to own a prostitution house, okay, be a madam, okay, you have to check your intentions with that and how the universe, Avarat, source is going to see that occupation. Okay? For certain, that's not going to be in a good light. Self-power draws things, yes, that we want to us. It magnetizes people, situations, and things to support our desires. This is also alchemy. This support from the laws of nature is the state of grace. When we are in harmony with nature, we create a bond between our desires and the power to make these desires materialize. And again, that's just coming into alignment with your higher self. Your higher self does not ever lie to you. So whenever you get a gut feeling, that is your higher self. That is source. That is the God within you. Okay? That will never lie to you. That will never mislead you. So if you're ever in a situation, sticky situation or uneasy situation, or you're having anxiety about something, okay, go within, meditate, quiet yourself, okay, spend time with yourself and see what that gut, quote unquote, gut feeling is, and then go with that if you want the best result for you. Okay? When we are in harmony with nature, we create a bond between our own desires and the power to make these desires materialize. How can we experience the law of pure potentiality? One way is through the practice of silence and meditation. So there you go. Again, I haven't read this book ahead of time. This means tuning out the world and taking time to simply be, In the Bible, it is the expression of be still and know that I am God. Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires. Let me read that again. Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires, because in stillness you connect with the field of pure awareness and infinite organizing power. Okay, I just got a crown ball when I said that. Confirmation. Imagine throwing a little stone into a still pond and watching it ripple. That's what you do when you go into silence and introduce your intention. Even the faintest intention ripples across the field of the universal consciousness that connects your desires with everything else. This field can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. Now, okay, so I'm going to throw something in here. So as far as the details are concerned, now it can give you many different, like lifetimes of information. But the details, you need to leave that up to source. What do I mean by the details? When it happens, how it happens, you need to leave those things, the timing of it, right? All of that, you need to leave that up to source, okay? Those details are none of your business, to be honest with you. They're none of my business, okay? And again, I'm an ascended master, an extraterrestrial earth angel, okay? I'm telling you, Master Builder 33, I'm telling you, okay? Don't concern yourself with the timing of when and all of that. So long as you maintain the consistency of this vibration, you will see whatever these desires are. And again, they could be dark, okay? Because source confirmation, because source is just going to see what you do with it, okay? And there's also dharma and karma. Imagine throwing okay. But if your mind is like a turbulent ocean, you could throw the Empire State Building into it and you wouldn't notice a thing. Practicing non-judgment is another way to experience the law of pure potentiality. Okay, so here we're going to get into some things that I probably don't agree with, because I am a spiritual judge here in the earth. That is why I've gone through what I've gone through. That is why Dark Nights of the Soul, Warlock who murdered my father, this is why I've gone through the things that I've done, so that first I can heal self, and then I can share that with other people. Okay, my judgment against unrighteousness, against lawlessness, against corruption, against trafficking rings and secret societies and all of that sort of thing, that is very just. So I'm not exactly sure where Deepak is going with this, but I will go ahead and say immediately that if he's talking about not judging others, I completely debunk that part of this book. Okay, I completely disagree with that. Okay. Practicing non-judgment is another way to experience the law of pure potentiality. When you are constantly judging things as right or wrong, good or bad, you create a lot of turbulence in your internal dialogue. But divine has good and bad and evil. So, yeah, see, again, I knew I would have an issue with that. This turbulence constricts the flow of energy between you and the field of pure potentiality. In the silent space between your thoughts is a state of pure awareness, an inner stillness that connects you to true power. If you cannot distinguish between good and evil, how do you protect yourself? That's my question. If you cannot distinguish between good and evil, how do you protect yourself? Okay. Through the practice of non-judgment, you silence your mind and access your inner stillness. Another way to experience the law of pure potentiality is to spend time in nature, grounding yourself, right? By observing nature, you begin to sense the harmonious interaction of all the elements and forces of life. The lavish display of abundance in the universe is an expression of the creative mind of God. He says nature. Just by tuning in to the mind of nature, you will access the field of pure potentiality and infinite creativity and spontaneously receive creative thoughts. Absolutely. Whether it be a stream, a forest, a mountain, or a sea, connecting with nature's intelligence will give you a sense of unity with all of life and help you to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. This essence is full of magic and mystery. It is fearless and it is free. So if you are not feeling free and you are not feeling fearless, there's some things that can be done about that you can do. Don't blame anyone else. When you are grounded in your knowledge, in the knowledge of your true self, you never feel fearful or insecure about money or fulfilling your desires. I just had an experience about that. You never feel guilty about wanting or having an abundance of anything, because you realize that the essence of all material wealth is life energy. Okay, so you create it. So those who are in poverty are there because they are created. That's why those who win the lottery end up back in poverty most often, because that's their energy. Okay. You know that your desires are inseparably connected with everything else. Your very desire is not your own. It's the evolution impulse coming through you. So why would you doubt it? Okay, you are a part of the puzzle. You are a part of that pond, that lake, that river, that ocean that you just threw that rock into, or pebble or whatever. That impulse is part of the greater pattern, which is to grow and evolve into a greater abundance and creativity. Into greater abundance. I said a greater. The law of potentiality says that you are consciousness itself, both as it manifests in the material world and as it lies unmanifest in your being. With the knowledge and the practice of this law, you can put into harmony with nature and create. Can put yourself in harmony with nature and create your carefreeness, joy, and love. Whether you go in the midst of activities, carry your stillness within you, or wherever you go, okay, carry this with you. Then the chaotic activity around you will never overshadow your access to the field of pure potentiality, so you can dance in the middle of chaos. To experience pure potentiality, he gives a couple of key points here. Take time every day to be silent and to connect with your spirit, to just be. Confirmation bird. We are human beings, not human doings or goings. Okay? Practice non-judgment. Begin each day with the statement, today I shall judge nothing that occurs, and throughout the day remove. Okay, yep, I don't agree with that. Okay? Because if you do not judge, you will end up falling for something that is karmic, dark, evil, or not for your good, not for your highest good. You will if you do not judge. When you say no, no is a complete sentence. So if you do not judge, how do you say no? Just like how do you say yes? I judge this is good for me. Yes. I judge that is no for me. No. Okay? Commune with nature. Silently observe the intelligence within everything. Watch a sunset, listen to the sound of the ocean, or simply smell the scent of a flower. Okay? So that is chapter 1, okay, of Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Thank you so much as always for tuning in. Again, my name is Nehru. I am an extraterrestrial earth angel, light beacon, Gaia, father of the Orishas, and descendant of Yeshua, here for the 10th and final time to help bring about many of the awarenesses that Deepak is speaking of, and Tupac spoke of too. Shout out to Spirit of Tupac Shakur, who we knew that being in that last lifetime. Okay? Thank you so much as always, and be encouraged.